Nicole, thank you. Well, about 4.5 hours from now, the drama of the Biden-Trump debate will start to unfold. The stakes very high for both campaigns tonight.
That's right. In Atlanta, CNN is hosting the earliest televised presidential debate on record. Local Democrats and local Republicans will watch with varying degrees of nervous anticipation. We go live right now to WLWT News 5 John London for a sense of what they expect and what they worry about, John.
Ashley, they expect their guy to show up the other guy. What they worry about is their guy tripping up or messing up in some way that damages poll numbers for the campaign. Voters who choose to be viewers tonight know they will see each one claim the other's unfit for the presidency, even though both have occupied the Oval Office. Democrats are hoping for a highly engaged, high-energy State of the Union type of performance from President Joe Biden, whose poll numbers have not been friendly this year. Republicans want former President Donald Trump to score on the two I's, inflation and immigration, two areas where they see Biden vulnerability. 4 years ago when they debated, it was a chaotic shouting match at times. How it plays out this time with mic control by CNN could be determined on a moment-by-moment basis.
If the president is on his game, and I think we should expect that he will be on his game. In fact, he's the president of the United States and worthy of this stage. Then I think the former president will need to apply more pressure to see if he can rattle the president.
Now, there are some pundits who believe that no matter what happens tonight, it's not going to move the needle much because it is so early in the campaign and so many people don't really zero in on the presidential race until the fall. But a fascinating face-off awaits us nonetheless at 9 tonight, given the highly charged political environment of 2024. Live downtown, John London, WLWT News 5.
Yeah, seeing a little bit of a rematch here, John. What are you hearing about which candidate carries the highest burden tonight or the highest risk?
Well, it was interesting to talk to a number of analysts about that. They believe that Biden does, fair or unfair. They're saying that any misstep, any significant misstep by him would be amplified, particularly on social media, and could have impact there. They believe he needs to be error-free. Since Donald Trump is known for being sort of a bull in the china shop with a lot of bluster and bombast, they believe that his behavior won't count against him as much.
All right, interesting perspective there. John London reporting live. Thanks so much, John. Of course, you can watch the CNN debate, presidential debate, right here on WLWT. Coverage starts at 9 tonight, and then stay with us for WLWT News 5 at 11 for post-debate analysis and reaction with John London, Mike Dardis, and my co-anchor, Cherie Palello.